complete nightmare. The way they like terrorize me.
Earl Sampson made national headlines last year after it became known he was stopped by police at least 288 times, the equivalent of about once a week for 4 years.
I couldn't be nowhere in my own neighborhood, like standing right here, I couldn't be here. I had to, like I was running from my freedom.
Today, Sampson says his life is much better.
Do police continue to come here and pick you up or try to detain you?
No, they don't mess with me no more though.
Sampson is one of 12 people suing the city of Miami Gardens and several others. The federal civil rights lawsuit alleges the city put in place a racially motivated quota system. The city denies the claims, but the attorney that filed the lawsuit says the city's unwritten policy led to tens of thousands of illegal stops.
The quota system was created by the department. It was created by the higher ups. It was created by people telling officers in supervisory positions, hey, we need to go out, this is what you need to do. And the officers, they follow those orders.
Do you feel like the policy was racially motivated?
I believe so.
This man is a former police officer in Miami Gardens, the largest predominantly African-American city in Florida. He has asked us to conceal his identity.
Was anybody ever told to stop all black males between 15 and 30 years old?
Yes.
In a roll call?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they say anything in terms of why stop all black males between 15 and 30, or they just said, we need numbers?
In so many words, yes. They said that's the criminal element within the city of Miami Gardens.
Today, there is a new police chief in town.
I can tell you that, yes, a large number of crimes are occurred in this city, because it is a black city, by young black males. That's a fact. That's our population, that's our demographics. But is it every young black male? No.
Stephen Johnson was hired in April after the former chief stepped down.
When you hear about what was going on before you came on board, does that disturb you?
Absolutely. And I can tell you from my assessment, whether it's perceived or real, the officers here were under the perception that in order to get into a specialized unit, you had to have high stats. Quotas. Now that was not a written policy. That is what they were instructed to do.
Was the quota race-based?
No.
They weren't telling officers to stop black men between 15 and 30 years old?
I heard that.
From the officers?
I heard that from the officers.
That they were specifically told to stop black men between 15 and 30?
Yes.
Chief Johnson says he's made changes, reassigning officers and making sure everyone knows there is no quota system in place.
It will work.
You don't have any concerns about ever going back to that or hearing that officers are stopping people because they're black?
No. And it's because my style of policing, again, is community-based policing.
Sampson is still haunted by what happened at the place where he works.
I just hang out here.
You're scared? Are you still scared of going out?
Oh, I'm terrified. I'm terrified and terrorized.
Even though they've left you alone?
Even though they left me alone.
He's working to clear his record and get his life back in order. Alina Machado, CNN, Miami.
Yo, what up, niggas? It's your boy Philco here, and right now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, Yekaterinburg time. I don't know why I'm awake, had some weird dreams, so I can't really go back to sleep. And right now the light's being a little difficult, so I'm sorry about the light being difficult. Alright, it's better. Alright, so let's get to the video. Okay, stop and frisk. I personally don't like watching, I don't even like the fact that police can just apprehend someone or hold up someone or just grab someone when they didn't do anything wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of that. That doesn't really seem like an American thing. But at the same time, we have to be honest with ourselves. And as usual, we have to look at things from both sides. Now, they were talking about it's one of the most highly black populated areas in in Florida. And I can guarantee you this one thing, whether they said it or not, I knew already, there's a lot of crime in that area. Just how it is, Some reason Whenever it's like a mostly black neighborhood, we have a lot of crime. Sucks, but it's generally true. So let me mention something else. You know what's funny is I'm black, and even I think this sometimes. Now, seriously, if you're black, or maybe even of any other race, but especially if you're black, I want you to listen to this and see it and see yourself as being in this position and tell me you wouldn't think the same thing. All right. If I were to go to the airport, and they have a new rule when you go to America, that when you go to America on the airplane, all your electronics must be able to cut on. If it's not able to cut on, you can't bring it. And that sucks for me because my laptop is missing a battery. I have to plug it in. Hopefully they let me plug it in. But what's interesting about it is, in my mind, the first thing I imagined was, I go to the airplane and look at my laptop. I'm like, it can't cut on. Can I plug it in or something? They go, no, we have suspicion this may be a bomb, and they contain me. The first thing I'm gonna think is, do I look like a fucking terrorist? You fuck with the wrong people. That is the first thing I would think. That is the first thing I would think, like, I'm fucking black and American. They think I'm... That is the first thing I would think. And you know what? A lot of black people will think the same shit. Oh, they would. A lot of black comedians after September 11th, you know what? A lot of them were saying, oh, they're so busy fucking with niggas. But now look, niggas ain't do this, niggas ain't do that. They're so busy fucking with niggas. And look, the sand niggas got to them. That's what a lot of comedians were saying. That's what a lot of them were saying. So basically what I'm trying to get across here is, we hate it when other people racially profile us, but we racially profile people. Everyone does it to an extent. So it's not just about racially profiling, so to say, it's how you do it. Because I'm telling you now, if I were looking for a terrorist and there was on airplanes coming to America, the vast majority of people I'm going to suspect are going to be people who look like they're from the Middle East. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's a bunch of black American basketball players who speak with no accent like they're from Brooklyn. I'm not going to bother with it. So what are the odds of that happening? Even though to be honest, all the odds are really low. Because how many terrorist attacks do we even have on airplanes in general? The odds of it is all very low. A lot of it seems to just be a way for them to scare us. But I'm just being real here. They will get the least of my suspicion, especially because I grew up around these people, and I've never heard a nigga say, yo, I'm gonna kill a bunch of white people and myself. You know, no one even comes close to saying anything like that. You know what I mean? In our community. So basically, everyone racially profiles a little bit. Now, I don't like stop and frisk because, like I said, I'm not really a fan of people just being stopped and being searched for no reason. But in high crime areas, we do have to do something a little different than we do in other areas. My idea was, like I always say in every video about police, all police, it should be a national law, federal, whatever, all police should have cameras on them 24/7. When they're on duty, they should have working cameras on them. And then we can maybe do a little quick stop and metal detect. No, stop and metal detect, because you're not really being touched. It may be humiliating, but we can't just my freedom, this and that. You got to think a little logically here. We live in a really high crime area when there's a lot of people being shot and killed. Don't you care for your people? I mean, even though you're not a criminal, they don't know that. So if I were to walk through the hood and they're like, okay, sorry, 1 sec, we're going to stop and metal detect you. I understand. I'm like, all right, I'm not really being touched. There's metal detecting. What is this? This is my wallet. This is my phone. All right, and I keep going. But I guarantee you, if they were to stop and metal detect, often they would get a lot of guns off the street. And they will arrest a lot of people. And the best thing about it is, it's being recorded. If they have the cameras on them, it's being recorded. And a lot of criminals will get off the street. Now, if you have the mentality that you're always just trying to control the cops and you're not trying to control your people, even a little, you're fucked up and you're stupid. You're just thinking, oh, they're trying to harass us, You're fucking killing yourselves. So you got to do something to make up for that. It can't just be a high crime area and treat it just like a nice crime area. That's retarded. There's a lot of people think in good areas there's like cops everywhere. It's not necessarily like that in good areas. It's not really like that. Where I lived in New Jersey, I saw cops once in a while, but in New York City, especially in bad areas, dog, you see cops everywhere, and it's still a lot of crime. Still, it's better than it was back then, but there's still a lot of crime. All dudes do now is wait till the cop cars are gone. So if they weren't there, it would be even more crime. But while I was staying in New Jersey, we constantly left our door open. That blew me away. When I was like, oh, I'm gonna lock the door, they're like, oh, you don't have to, let some air come in. I'm like, there might be more than air coming in here if I leave this door open, but it was normal. And what's interesting about this area was it wasn't really a white area. It was a mixed area. I mean, it was predominantly white and Jewish. So they populated maybe, I don't know, 70% of it, white and Jewish, like putting them together, because some Jewish people don't consider themselves white, I don't know. But white and Jewish together, about 70%. And I'll say about 20% black. But there was really no crime in this area. And I've noticed that a lot of mixed areas that have black people, those black people are, they're just like everyone else around them. But the problem occurs for some reason with black people is when a neighborhood is predominantly black. It just fucking starts going bananas, and I don't get it. The vast majority of the time, it just starts going bananas. I don't get it. You could take like a town of 1,000, add 300 black people in there, those black people just blend in with everyone else, and they'll be safe, silent, quiet, whatever. Take 1,000 black people, put them in a neighborhood, 100 whites, 100 Asians, it's gonna be a fucking ghetto. And I don't fully understand that. Maybe it's partially because we have crab in a bucket syndrome, like we're trying to keep each other down, trying to compete, we don't respect each other. Or maybe just because, you know, the slave mentality. You know, maybe just part of slave mentality. We don't really respect each other. We're always just trying to be better than the other one. We don't give a fuck about our brothers and sisters. Maybe something like that. I don't know. And then there's the light skin, dark skin thing. I might make a video about that. I think it's pretty stupid, but I'm gonna make a video about it. And so that's really it. I mean, I'm just getting you guys to think a little bit. And they spelled Miami wrong? Oh, they spelled Miami wrong on CNN. They put Miami. Wow, I should take a picture of that. CNN's fucking up. But all I'm saying is stop and frisk. I can understand how that could bother a lot of people. I'm more of a stop and metal detect, but we got to do something to help get these guns off the street, these illegal guns off the street. You know, that's who they're killing. That's what they're killing people with, you know. We need this in places like Chicago. We need this in places like Detroit. We could really use this. Even some neighborhoods in New York City, we could really use some stop and metal detect. But we got to go about it right and in a way in which we make cops fear abusing the people that they search. And what will make them fear it? That camera. They can't act all out. They can't act out like dick faces. That camera. But you know what? Last thing before I go, you know what's really gonna embarrass us? Because you know how growing up before World Star and stuff, it was always, oh, the media's making us look bad. The media's making us look bad. Then as soon as we get like a website ourselves, like the most popular black website is World Star, what do you see? Black people being violent. So what I'm afraid of seeing, is a bunch of undercover videos of cops being nice to people like, hey, hello, I'm sorry, but we gotta do a stop and metal detect. Here's a paper, we can do this by law. Fuck you, nigga, fuck you. And you just see a bunch of these videos and then it shows how black people overreact to the cops for no reason. I don't know what to do anymore. But that's basically it, people. I'm out. Later. Good luck.